This CaDA RC set is the largest build on this channel so far. It's so large that I had to change my whole desk setup. This is the 1/10 scale RC car Phantom Wing from CaDA. At 1,817 pieces, it really is a big boy. It also has a big boy SRP of 109 USD, but I know where you can buy it for an amazing bargain. More on that by the end. This set was sent to me by our new friends at Barweer.com. They are one of the more established online stores that sell alternative bricks at great prices. Full disclaimer, they sent this set as well as other sets to me for free for my honest and independent review. Rest assured that I will tell you both the good and the bad of this and any set we will review on this channel. Let's get it out of the box and start building. Inside is this large cardboard tray with all the numbered plastic bags. This set is built in sections, so bags with the number 1 are used for the first phase of the build. But this is quite the undertaking even with bag numbers. There are like 10 bags all with the number 1 on it. So you will need to make sure you clear your desk prior to starting this project. Prepare plates or trays to keep all these small Technic pins from rolling away into the void behind your table. I used my handy dandy 3D printed trays. This took me roughly 4 half days to complete as I had the bright idea to replace my desk in the middle of the project. The actual build experience is like a roller coaster ride full of ups and downs. Some of the techniques were delightful and fun while others were a lot less fun. The instructions were clear for the most part with only a few fiddly steps. I attribute the difficulty to my hand disability. I'm sure those with complete digits will have an easier time. They included this weird Technic part separator. It was no help when I needed to pry apart bricks. The little clip at the end wasn't useful in pulling out a mistakenly attached pin, and the holes on the other end were too big for anything. What is this, a bottle opener for ants? Another one for the collection but the least useful addition. I appreciate that they include a quick size reference on almost every page that uses Technic beams and axles. This 3D printed ruler was also handy for the few pages that skip the reference. Look, we all have our own building style. Mine is called obsessing over counting how long a brick is to make sure I have the right part, but get it wrong anyway. This set came with 4, count them, 4 sheets of stickers. Fairly large stickers too, and you know me, I'm just really good at applying stickers. I love them. All sarcasm aside, the size of the stickers made it difficult to apply. I ended up prematurely sticking parts of it and it curls up on itself. The included part separator was also useless in this regard, though my favorite whale part separator did not fare any better, so I put the rest on by hand. The stickers were also badly color matched. It's an entirely different shade of green. That's a bit disappointing. Even from a distance you can sort of see the difference. This is primarily a Technic build with some brick built sections. What was a mild annoyance at first was their choice to do the instructions like this. It's upside down. My annoyance turned to frustration when I had to rebuild sections after I misunderstood which studs go where. My frustration faded away when I saw the sticker on the tile. I mean, they made a sticker of the ingot bar piece in red. What? This set is available in 2 flavors, the one with included motors and the other without. Even without the motor installed, there are cool mechanisms here worthy of the hefty price tag. First is the steering mechanism. The front wheels can turn left or right using this steering wheel here. You can see this little gear here also turn left and right corresponding with the steering wheel. There is also a differential for the rear wheels made of a large orange piece with small gears inside. This was a little awkward to assemble but I got them all there. The coolest feature here is definitely this working V8 engine which you can manually run by turning the rear wheels. See the little pistons working overtime. If you think that's cool, then check this out. I got the power system pack and it turns this awesome display into a fully functional RC toy car. If you can get the version with motors, you can attach them to the rear assembly for driving and the front assembly for steering. Don't forget the power brick. Attach all the cables and Bob's your uncle. You now have a working Technic RC car for a fraction of the price of an original. The power brick has built-in batteries that can be charged by the micro USB port. No wall adapter included, but they do give you a cable so you don't have to go digging through your e-waste drawer full of old unused cables that you swear you will need one day. This is the included remote control and it takes 2 AA batteries. It's still roughly the same size as the controller of the much smaller CaDA RC but a lot more rugged looking. If you like customizing remotes, then this would be right up your alley. But I feel like this is their generic Technic set controller instead of something designed for car control. See the extra inputs here on top? I can imagine they include the same controller for an excavator. What's disappointing is that this is still not a proportional speed controller, so when you press up, it's still full speed ahead. Let's see if it matters later during the parking test. And yes, there will be a parking test for this massive unit. But first, let's take a moment to admire this beautiful set. It seems to be a non-specific version of a Le Mans car, but the configuration of the lights on both the front and rear suggests that this is also heavily inspired by the Vision GT. What do you guys think? Comment down below. From the front, it looks intimidating with the Lambo-like styling. The front bumper is nice and low to the ground, and you can see how I butchered the black on red stickers. Interesting choice to add clear studs behind the white pipe headlight pieces. And you can see more of my handiwork if you take a closer look here and notice that there is an out-of-place yellow Technique bracket. Yeah, I lost the piece. I actually have yet to find it. I'm not a fan of how this windshield frame piece is attached to the ball joint, but I suppose it's fine. Inside you see this tiny steering wheel in the middle. It turns with the wheel so you can't manually operate it if you have the motors installed. There is a lone car seat also smack dab in the middle. It's floating in there, only supported by a single axle. This car is nowhere near minifig scale, but you can put a minifig on the seat. It won't attach to anything and it looks ridiculous, but hey, you do you. The doors open upwards, reminiscent of Lambo scissor doors, and this gives us a better view of the inside setup. You can see that behind the seat is the power brick attached securely to the studs below. From the side, this car is incredibly photogenic and certainly seems aerodynamic enough to be a supercar. I like how the sides of the vehicle are built with angled panel pieces. It's quite a solid build. All the various curved panels are sort of floating, supported by mostly single connection points. The overall shaping of this set is masterfully done. Nice air scoop here on the roof that goes into this sort of air divider and eventually into this large spoiler cleverly built with panel fairings. From the rear we can see more of the Y-shaped lights, but this time in red. This part is not a sticker but rather a red curved half beam, which looks perfect here. From the bottom you can see the fuse system bricks used in this set. The bottom of the set gives us a good look at the various mechanisms of the set as well as the power-up motors.
Welcome ladies and gentlemen to the street parking outside of the 24-hour open 7-Eleven, where today's contestant will attempt to parallel park between two other Technique build sets. Can he do it? Oh, so close. Nice job! Back to you, Studio Brick Squad.
Accessibility. This is my first time building a set of this size and I have to admit that I wasn't ready for it. I know for some people 1800 pieces is a walk in the park, but with my disability it's actually a challenge. I appreciate that they included a part separator, but it didn't really help in my case. The brick build sections and some other steps were awkward and fiddly. And personally, I think the build phases should have been divided further to avoid having more than 5 bags open at a time. Accessibility score of 3 out of 5 stars. Quality. The looks are top-notch. This is my first 1/10 scale car and I love it. I can see why LEGO collectors hang their large-scale cars on the wall. They are absolutely gorgeous. With that said, this seems to be primarily a display kit. The RC functionalities are an afterthought. As I mentioned earlier, it's not proportional control and the mechanisms relating to the wheel are not particularly stable. I can't remember the amount of times the rear axles and steering arms frustratingly popped off during testing. I'm not a fan of the stickers, but honestly it no longer bothers me as much as I thought it would. Quality score of 4 out of 5 stars. Value. This set has an SRP of $109.99. If that sounds like a lot of money, that's because it is. Even considering the powered up aspect of it, it's still on the higher end for an alternative brick set. For comparison, LEGO sells the Peugeot Le Mans Hypercar for $199.99. It has a similar piece count to our set but double the price. Now $100 seems a lot more reasonable, huh? Especially considering the massive display potential of this car. But what if I told you that you can get this CaDA set for almost half off the original price? In the description there is a special link going to the Barweer website where you can purchase this exact set. You can choose whether you want the RC or non-RC version. Personally, if I have to buy this again with my own money, I would go non-RC and just hang it as a display on my wall. But since this offer probably won't last, I am obligated to score this based on the SRP. Value score of 4 out of 5 stars. LEGO compatible cars have gone a long way from just being fake and cheap alternatives. If you like this video, then why don't you check out our other LEGO compatible car reviews by clicking the links on your screen.